All right. So here we'll do now the Maimer Shabbos Parshas Nitzavim Vayelech. That year was Mechubarim. This was the 23rd day of Elul Tovshin Lametes. And they read the first Parsha is Atem Nitzavim Hayem Kulchem Lifnei Hashem Alekeichem Rasheichem Shivteichem Goimer. All right. Okay, B'siyayte the Shmaya, Shabbos Parsha Nitzom Vayelech of Gimel Elul, Hey Tovshin Lamed Tes. This was in Tovshin Lamed Tes, 1979. In the note, it says over here, this is interesting. This Maimer was looked over by the Rebbe right at that time, but they didn't publish it. They didn't find this Maimer, and this just came about. It was revealed. And Shabbos Parshas Nitzavim Tovshin Nun Daled. This was the first time when they published this Maimer. So this was a Maimer that was sort of hidden for all these years, from Lamed Tes to Nun Daled. So that was for 15 years that it was hidden. Okay, it's already 30 years. Almost since it was revealed, but the point is that this was a big surprise, and everybody was very, very excited to learn this Maimer because it was something like we didn't expect. We didn't think there was any more Mamorim, and then all of a sudden you have a new Maimer. So this was like very exciting Maimer. Okay, so let's learn inside. Atem nitzovim hayoim kulchem lifnei havaya lekeichem rasheichem shivteichem. So this was Moshe Rabbeinu saying to them, he called them in right before he was passing away, and he says today, before he passes away, he was making a covenant with them. He says, you all are staying here before Hashem your God. All the Yidden were there, and he's going to make them rasheichem shivteichem. Then he enumerates the leaders, the tribes, Goimer, various different levels. And then it says, from the wood choppers until the water drawers. This includes 10 categories of the Yidden. And Moshe Rabbeinu is saying all categories of Yidden are standing here today before his passing. Why did Moshe Rabbeinu gather them all before his passing? So the pasuk will continue, as we'll see in a minute. The Rebbe will bring down. The next pasuk says, "Le'avrecha bivris Hashem elikecha," to make the Yidden pass through in the covenant with God, his God. The Jewish people went through two covenants. One covenant was by Matan Torah, by Har Sinai, when they became a people. The Eibishter made the covenant with them. The second covenant was before Moshe passed away, when he told them, Atem nitzavim hayem kulchem. But the Rebbe brings down from Likutei Torah that the word Hayoim, you're standing today, can also mean Hayoim and Rosh Hashanah. That Atem, just like then they stood before Moshe Rabbeinu's passing, but the other interpretation, the inner interpretation is Atem Nitzavim Hayoim, today, Hayoim, this day is Rosh Hashanah. As we see, Rosh Hashanah is called Hayoim, the day. So basically, it says in the Likutei Torah, the Parsha Zu Koirim La'olam Koidem Rosh Hashanah. This portion of Atem Nitzavim is always read before Rosh Hashanah. Sometimes we read Vayelech as well, but Atem Nitzavim is always read before Rosh Hashanah. That means that what says in this Parsha is basically a preparation for Rosh Hashanah. You're reading it before Rosh Hashanah to prepare for Rosh Hashanah. So we say that you read it before Rosh Hashanah, what's the connection? Okay, we know that it's right before Rosh Hashanah, but where is the hint that we're talking about the Rosh Hashanah in the pasuk? So he says, "Umerumas b'milas hayoim." It's hinted Rosh Hashanah in the word hayoim. When you say Atem Nitzovim hayoim, it's hinted that it goes the koyi al Rosh Hashanah. This goes on Rosh Hashanah. When we say the word hayoim today, it's a reference to Rosh Hashanah. Where do we see Rosh Hashanah being called hayoim, the day? Because the pasuk says, "Ki zeh hayoim tchilas ma'asecha zikorin liyem rishon." We say this pasuk or this saying in the Musaf of Rosh Hashanah. We say, "Zeh hayoim," this day. This day is the beginning of your action. When is this day? This day is Rosh Hashanah. Because even though the world was created on the 25th day of Elul, that is when the beginning of the world's creation, Bereshis bara Elokim es hashamayim ve'es ha'aretz, that took place on the 25th day. But still we say Zeh hayoim, on this day, the Rosh Hashanah, the 6th day of creation, is really the beginning of your action, because that is when man was created. And this is a zikorin, this is a memory, liyom rishon, to the first day of creation when Adam, not Adam was on the 6th day, but meaning when the Shemayim va'aretz were created on the Chafei Elul, because even though this is the 6th day, it remembers the beginning of creation, because the human being is the purpose of creation, and that's it. But nevertheless, as far as we're concerned, we see here it says the word hayoim. So therefore, we see that Rosh Hashanah is referenced as this day, Zeh hayoim. And therefore, we're saying Atem Nitzovim hayoim is Rosh Hashanah. What does it have to do with Kulchem? The Rebbe is going to say, if we want to get the brachas from the Eibishter on Rosh Hashanah, we all have to be together, because the way we know Rosh Hashanah is the brachas for the entire year. In order for us to get the brachas for the entire year, we have to be all together. That's why the pasuk says, "Atem nitzovim hayom kulchem," that this is all together, because that's the way we get the brachas. V'zohu ma shekosuv atem nitzovim hayom kulchem, that you are all standing today, all of you, Gomer. Shekol b'nei Yisrael, that all of the b'nei Yisrael, all Jewish people, mereshechem shiftechem, Gomer, from the leaders, from the tribes, from the greatest, the most elitist, the most respected, ad choyte v'itzecha v'shoyev mimecha, up till the other extreme, those who are just the wood choppers and those that draw the water. So all of Bnei Yisrael, from the highest level to the lowest level, hem misagdim yachad, they unite together, liyos la'achodim ke'echad, to be like one, united like one, la'achodim, together, ke'echad, like one, they're together. That is means atem nitzovim hayom kulchem lifnei Hashem elokeichem, all of us together lifnei Hashem elokeichem on Rosh Hashanah. Why? Why is it so important to be together on Rosh Hashanah? Because Rosh Hashanah is the time of all the brachas of the Eibishter. And if we want to merit the brachas of the Eibishter, the way to get it is by being together. Ki hakeli lehabrachas v'hamshoches shalamaylo. Because what is the vessel for the blessings and all what is drawn down from above? Hu inyan ha'achdus. That is the concept, the idea of unity. Unity is the vessels for the blessings and everything to come down. As we say, K'moshe Kosov, as we say, Borcheinu Avinu, we ask Hashem, bless us, our Father, and then we say, Ka'asher, when Kulonu Ke'echad Davke, bless us all together when we're all together. We're not saying bless us separately, but Borcheinu Avinu Kulonu Ke'echad, when we are together, that's when we get the brachas. So because we want the brachas on Rosh Hashanah, we need to be together. That's why we have Ayem Kulchem. Barcheinu Avinu Kasher Kulonu Ke'echad Avke. Kimevur Barucha Betanya Pedik Lamed Beis, as explained at length in Tanya in chapter 32, and in Likutei Torah in Dibur HaMaschil, Heicholzu, the mimer that begins with Heicholzu, is a very famous mimer, Heicholzu, and then later on it was said by the Rebbe Rashab also, which they say that there were some maimorim that the Rebbes used to recite many times to clear the ear, to make the ear, and one of them was the Heicholzu. It was a big machloikis at the time, and the Rebbe Rashab said that Maimer Heicholzu, which is based on the Likutei Torah, which basically describes the idea over there that it's all together, the level of unity. And also in the Sefer HaMitzvahs, La'atzamach Tzedek, the Derech Mitzvah, Sefer HaMitzvahs, the Mitzvahs, Avas Yisrael. Over there, it's all explained how being together, being united, being ba'achdus, that brings about the brachas. What's the connection with brachas and Rosh Hashanah? Because Rosh Hashanah is the time when we get all the energy for the whole year. U'b'yois sheberosh Hashanah, hi hamshoch as hachayis, akol Hashanah. Since on Rosh Hashanah there is the extension of the life force for the whole year, which means the bracha, the life force, comes on Rosh Hashanah for the whole entire year. Ki yedua, that is known that Rosh Hashanah is the general chayis for the whole year. Ki yedua, as it's known, and also mevur ba'arucha ba'teres rosh, uberemes b'Likutei Torah at length in Ateres Rosh, and also hinted in Likutei Torah. So with there, he gives the idea, the Nikra Rosh Hashanah, V'lo Tchilas Hashanah. We call it the head of the year, not the beginning of the year. Why is it called Rosh Hashanah and not the beginning? The head is more than just the beginning of the body. The head controls the whole body, comes and is included. The energy for the whole body comes from the brain, comes from the head. Rosh Hashanah is not just the first day in the calendar, but Rosh Hashanah is the general chayis from the whole year. That's why we call it Rosh Hashanah, the head of the year, v'lo tchilas Hashanah, and not the beginning of the year. Why? Kihu bedugmas harosh, because that is similar to a head. Shekoilel betoichoi kol evorei haguf, that includes in the head all the limbs of the body are included in the head. It's not just the beginning, but it includes everything. V'gam k'moi shehevorim heim b'mekoimo. So included in the head means that originally the chayis from the neshama comes to the head, and the brain disperses them to the rest of the body. So that's, in the beginning, the entire chayis of everything of the body comes through the head. But not only that, even later on, when it spreads out already into the body, then too, the head it remains controlled. V'gam kimoi shehevorim heim b'mekoimom. Also, when the limbs are in their place, which means they're already have their energy in their place, nimtzo b'hem hareish, the head is still there, while they're already left, have the energy, the head is still there. V'ad shehu hamanig oisom. Not only is he there, but the head leads them. The brain, the person leads the rest of the body. Shekol ha'ivorim nishmoyim l'ritzoynoi. So all the limbs listen to the head. The head directs and controls everything. Even once they leave the head, that's separated, still the head is still there and the head controls it. So that's why we call it Rosh Hashanah, that just like by the head with the limbs, we see that everything is included in the head and the head controls everything. Similar to this is on the day of Rosh Hashanah. Sheboi nimshach kol hachayis shel kol yemei Hashanah. On Rosh Hashanah extends the vitality of all the days of the year is in Rosh Hashanah. Just like in the head is the entire vitality for all the limbs, the entire vitality, the chayis of the entire days of the year is nimshach on the head on the first day. Gam hanhagosom achar kach, and also the way the rest of the days conduct themselves later on, when the other days, when they come around. It's according to the way they were extended Rosh Hashanah. The chayis that was given to them on the Rosh Hashanah, that is the way they are conducted later on. This is the way the world and the chayis, but there's also the service of man, the service of the individual. The way the service is on Rosh Hashanah, so it continues throughout the year. That's what the Rebbe adds into parentheses. Similar to this is in the service of man. That the way the person conducts himself throughout, in all the days of the year, throughout the year, that is according to the way he decided on Rosh Hashanah, because Rosh Hashanah is that main chayis in a general way for all the years, so he follows through according to the decision that he made on Rosh Hashanah. So basically, this is Rosh Hashanah is the time of all hamshachas, all the energies for the year. It's the time, it's the head of the year. So we have to make sure that we get the full hamshachas, all of it, come down to us on Rosh Hashanah. And since the way to get all the hamshachas fully is through the level of unity, through the level of achdus, that is the keli to Barcheinu Avinu to have the brachas. That's why the pasuk says, "Atem nitzavim hayoim kulchem." You're all together hayoim on Rosh Hashanah. V'zehu atem nitzavim hayoim kulchem gomer. This is the meaning. You are all standing hayoim on Rosh Hashanah, everybody together. Ki ha'achona, because the preparation, v'hakeli, and the vessel, lehamshocha zu, for this hamshocha that we're getting on Rosh Hashanah, on Hayoim, hu kulchem. Hayoim is kulchem altogether. Ha'is agdus de b'nei Yisrael liyos la'achodim ke'echad. That is the union, the unity of the Bnei Yisrael to all be together. That's why we need kulchem. She'al yidei zeh hem kelim lahashras yichudei yisborich. That way, once we're united, once we're our kulchem all together, then that way we become a vessel for the resting of Hashem's unity to come down to us and bring us all the blessings that we need. So in this context that we're learning now, so we know you need kulchem, you need to be together for the Hayoim, for Rosh Hashanah, to get all the blessings. But then the pasuk continues to enumerate 10 different levels. These 10 different levels, they basically correspond to the 10 koiches of the nefesh. Just like in a person, there is 10 different powers. You have the 3 intellect and you have the 7 emotions. Similarly, when we look at the entire Jewish people, it's also divided into these 10. There are those that are, so to speak, the intellect of the Jewish people. There are those that are the emotion of the Jewish people. But nevertheless, it's 10. But the pasuk the Rebbe is going to explain now is that all these 10, we don't say unity. You won't think that unity means, okay, there's no individuality. And there's nothing. There's only unity here. There's just Hashem. No. The real level of unity and the real accomplishment is to have separation, to have different madregas. And yet the madregas come together. That's why the pasuk enumerates. Yes, there is Roshechem, Shivtechem, Choytevetzecha. There's different levels. But what? But these levels get together. And that's dafke the way to be mamshich, even to the Choytevetzecha, which brings us even a higher level, as the Rebbe will explain now. Base. Umefaret hakosu, the pasuk specifies Eser madreges, 10 steps. Roshechem, Shivtechem, Goimer. If you count in the pasuk, you'll have 10 counts. Mechoyte vetzecha, Atshoyev meimecho. In the pasuk, you have 10. What is the number 10? Shekemoy sheyesh eser madreges benefesh ha'odom. Just like there exists 10 steps in the soul of man. What are the 10 levels? The 10 steps in the Hainu. You have the Gimel Sichlim, you have the 3 intellect, Chochma, Bina, and Das. And you have the Zayin Midas, the 7 emotions, Chesed, Gvura, Tiferes, Netzach, Hot Yisod, Malchus. Kach, likewise, Kol Yisrael, that's every individual. But the entire Jewish people, and Koimachas, it's also like one story, Shlema. They're like one whole story, one Koima, one height. Shenechlekes lesser madreges, that is split into the 10 levels. So the 10 levels that we enumerate in the pasuk individually are the 10 different levels in the Jewish Koima, in the Jewish people. So what is the idea of counting all these 10 separate? Sha'agdus de Bnei Yisrael, the unity of the Bnei Yisrael, Mashehem misagdim liyos lachodim ke'echad. The fact that they unite to be united like one. Sha'al yidei zeh heim nasim kelim lahashros yichudei yisborech. That way they become vessels to get the resting of Hashem's blessed unity. When we're together, we take the Yehuda of the Eberster. How does this unity happen? Does the unity means we're all nothing and we're not considered? No, it's not through us losing who we are. On the contrary, we remain who we are, and yet we get together. It's not that we say. There's the word yochid with regards to Hashem. When we say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu, we say Hashem Echad. We don't say Yochid. Yochid means only that there is nothing. Echad means there is 7 skies, there is the earth, there's 4 corners, and yet they're bottled to the Aleph, to the Alufi Shel Olam, which the real unity is not that we don't exist as individual, that we lose our individuality, but rather with our individuality, and yet we get together. It is. Sha'ardus de b'nei Yisrael, ma shehem mis'ardim liyos la'achodim ke'echad. This unity of the Yidden, that they unite to be united like one. Shall yidei zeh nasim kelim la'ashros yechuda yizbarach. That way they become vessels for Hashem's unity, blessed unity, to rest in them. It's not in such a way that there is no different levels to begin with. And also, gam loy shemitzad agilu de b'chinas yochid hem izbatlim mimitziusom. You can also say that because there is a revelation of Hashem being only, Hashem is the only thing, so therefore they are negated from their existence, and they no longer exist. Sometimes we say, Oisha Sholem Bimreimov. Even though you have Michael and Gabriel, Sar Shlei Shumayim, but they make Sholem because they get a revelation from above, they're in this battle. They're no longer in their mitzvahs. No, that's not the unity we're talking about over here. Ki'im, what is the unities? The Kemoi Sheheim B'Bechinas Mitzias, as they are in an entity. V'nechlokim le'eser madreges, and they are split in 10 different steps. Mikol Mokoim, and still being in 10 levels, Hey Misachdim, Misachdus Gemura, they unite with a total unity. So the Hisachdus Zu, this type of unity, which means Hisachdus Shel Protim, details are united. Not that the details don't exist, but you have details and the details unite. Hikimoi Hisachdus de B'chinas Echad. That is like the unity of the level of Echad. Shalemato Mibchinas Yochid, which is on a lower level than the level of Yochid. Yochid means only. There is no Protim. But the Hisachdus of Echad is a lower level. Okay, Yedua ha'hefresh bein Echad liyochid. As it's known, what's the difference when we say Hashem Echad or we say Yochid? Yochid means only, Echad means one. The Yochid, when we say only, hu l'maylo mi'schalkus, that is above division. It's beyond, there's no details of there. Eibishter is only, nothing else exists there. Mash'enkin Echad, when we say Echad, hu sheyeshnam dvarim muchulokim, that there is separate matters, elo sheheim misachdim, but they unite. Echad means that there is details, there is separate things, but they're united together. It's actually hinted in the letters of the word Echad, Aleph, Ches, Daled. So the Ches, Shaches, V'Hadaled, the number 8, level Ches, the letter Ches, 8, V'Hadaled, level 4, Moidim, they point, L'Zayin, Rikim, V'Ores, to the 7 heavens and the earth, that's the Ches, and the Daled Ruchas Olam, and the 4 corners of the world. And they are bein betelim leha Aleph. They're subjugated to the Aleph. The Aleph they're bottled to. The Aleph ein shoylel es mitzias ha'olam. But the Aleph does not negate, does not reject existence of the world. It is together because Aleph means Sha'aleph atzmoi pirushe aluf shel olam. What does Aleph mean? That he is the master of the world. So you're saying there's a world, and he is the master. He is the alufa shel olam. He's in charge. So you have a world. So the word aleph itself tells you that he doesn't negate the world. It doesn't take away the metzius of the world. And also va'aleph hu harosh the tevas echad, that the aleph becomes the beginning, the head of the word echad, and the word echad shekoilel, which includes canal be'inyan rosh, as we said before by rosh. If this becomes the head of the word, it includes esaches, the zayin rekim ba'aretz, va'adalet, the dalet ruchas olam. So, which means in the aleph itself, which includes the dalet, it means that it allows for the details, it allows for the pratim, but yet it unites them. Through this type of unity of the Bnei Yisrael, which means they are a mitzias, and they are divided into 10 steps, and together with that, they're still united like one. Then we become the private domain for Hashem's blessed unity. Through our unity, then we become a vessel to the private domain, Hashem only, to Hashem's yichud. Hainu libchinas yochid. Then we reach the level of yochid shalamaylu libchinas echad. This is, which is higher than the echad. Through the unity of yichud of the metzias, we become a vessel for the true level, for the higher level of yochid. Gilui libchinas yochid, the revelation of the level of yochid, shenimshach bibchinas chei ha'olam melech. That extends into the vitalization of the world, which is melech. In there, we extend the level of yochid. And it brings down the level of yochid into all the differences. Ba'ad limitzias, ba'aschalkus hamadreges. It brings it down into the entities and the different levels. Ad libchinas choyte v'itzecha v'shei v'mecha, till the level of the woodchopper, the water drawer, the adrabe. So basically, we're bringing down yochid into echad, into the world, into the different levels. When you can unite the Bnei Yisrael, gam even as they are divided into level of 10 steps, even the steps include that is the way that's the way we become one with Hashem's blessed essence, as we will continue Be'ezus Hashem tomorrow.
Yes, okay. Thank you very much.